There's no best way to say it. We were chosen! Okay, so as you guys can tell, if not by the title of this video, but by me screaming to the top of my lungs, we were chosen. Yes, we were finally chosen, and our adoption placement will be coming at the early to mid part of December, and I've got to let our dogs out. Oh my gosh, it has been insane, and I will be apologizing probably forever for not being able to record. Probably like, oh my gosh, I think it's been a few weeks. I need to actually go back and look because we've had so much going on in the past month, and it's so hard for me. If any of you follow any other foster or adopt channels, you guys have to know how hard it is for us to not be able to share like everything we want to. And I'm gonna go outside because it's nice and cold and I need to make sure our dogs are actually using the restroom. Okay, so anyway, oh, the sun. Look at this shaded area here. Okay, so the best that I can do is tell you the story of how we, oh, sorry, water bottle, because that's how we discipline our big dog, which you see Atlas there. All right, so I can tell you the story of how we met Miss H. Okay, so a month ago on October 12th, we attended an adoption event in our local area, and we knew about Miss H, I would say a few days before the adoption event. Our caseworker talked to us. Now, as many of you know, we have been submitting, oh my gosh, for nearly 6 months now, since we relicensed with Child Protective Services here in Houston. We have been submitting our home study for so many adoptable cases. And we have just, oh my gosh, we put everything out there. So when our caseworker told us about Miss H, she was also telling us about a couple of other cases that we were being submitted on, or that we wanted to submit it on. So with Miss H, she told us about her, and we said, can we meet her? And we spoke to Miss H's caseworker. We sat down with our caseworker and we said, okay, go ahead and submit our home study because we are 100% smitten with this kid. So our caseworker did, and then our caseworker the following week told us that there were 7 families total. So we were 1 in 7 that all submitted for Miss H, which is, I mean, that's a big deal. It's a pretty good number, you know, and that has to be a pretty high compliment to her, at least. You know, I know I did later find out that that made her feel just very special and very wanted, which is something that I know a lot of adopted children do struggle with, especially older ones. They do worry that they won't be wanted because they're not some small little young kid that maybe a lot of people prefer or think they want. So I would say probably several weeks go by. We had additional training that we had to go through. We had to submit updated paperwork. We had to also submit, we had to also have our license updated because Miss H is older than our age range. And so that required us to update some personal paperwork on our end. And so this was taking about a month. So we get to the end of October and we find out that out of 7, 3 families were chosen, and we were 1 and 3 families were chosen. And Sean and I were just like, oh my gosh. That if you are a couple who is licensed for adoption and you are adopting through foster care, if you are chosen for a selection staff meeting, your family file has been chosen as like the top 3 families, and it's typically only 2 to 3 families, and that's selection staff meeting. So your caseworker goes to an office where she or he has to sit down and present your file and essentially sell you to the child's caseworker, the child's caseworker supervisor, the CASA or child advocate representative, and the ad litem, which is the child's lawyer. So that person is the lawyer of the case. And your caseworker is presenting your family file to those people. There may be other people in that meeting. I think that also depends on the file, the case, not the file, I'm sorry, the child's case, who's involved also with the child's case, other than those top 4 people that I listed. There sometimes are more representatives. Also, your state may handle things a little bit differently. In Texas, that's a very typical way of things handled, but again, every case is handled differently. So we've been to a selection staff meeting before a couple of years ago, and that was handled far differently than this one. So we did not know what was going to happen. We literally we were so shocked that we were in the top 3 families. Like when we woke up on Thursday, but Sean and I had no idea. We had family and friends text us or call us. They gave us love. They gave us prayers. They just, they were praying for us. They were just holding us very, very near and dear to their hearts, trying to just give us strength, give us peace in our hearts. And Sean and I had no idea how the entire day was going to go. We really did not know at all. Because, this particular case is very unique. There are so many things I wish I could share with you on, but sadly her information is just not public, and it's not really able to be known. And there's a lot that's really her own story that maybe one day if she decides to share, I want that to be her choice. But because her case was so unique and so phenomenal, I really think that's why so many people were fighting to be qualified to adopt her. So we got the phone call from our caseworker, and Sean and I had no idea. When our caseworker called, she got us both on the phone. So Sean had to call me. So she called Sean first, and then Sean had to put her on hold, call me so we could do like a 3-way conference call. And she said, "Congratulations. You guys are parents. It's a girl. You have been chosen." I'm going to start crying again. Oh my God. I did. I started crying a little bit on the phone. I was like, "Oh my God." And Sean was like, "What? Really? What?" Oh, it was just so remarkable. And so our caseworker began to let us know that over the next several weeks, because we're in the month of November, and school for Texas starts wrapping up, and they typically end around the middle of December, which is probably why they're looking at moving her around that time. So that winter break will be, we'll be going on, and we'll have that time to bond and connect with her, and we don't have to really worry about school. We can just really spend time with her, let her get to know our family, and if possible, maybe even meet a couple of friends if they're in town for the holidays. But fortunately, she'll be meeting all of our family, so that's good. But we'll be hanging out with her again next Saturday. And then after that, we're gonna, be spending more time with her and getting everything ready. We've already got friends just showering us right now with just loving gifts, and to kind of help get her room ready, or just to kind of help, just kind of help give her something, So I'm kind of putting together some really fun things for her. So that she can see the people who have gifted her. So I'm going to kind of make like a little scrapbook so she can actually see like the little thank you, not the thank you note, but the little gift receipt note from Amazon, and then the picture of the family that's given her this particular gift. And that way, these are things that, as she begins to really, bond and settle in our home, and we begin to really connect. You know, one day when she's a woman that's grown and possibly married and maybe even having children of her own, she can look back on this time as even though it felt scary and it felt, you know, very strange and foreign to her, that it was a very positive, you know, experience, because there were people that were coming around us as we were growing as a family and loved on her and loved on us. So that is something that I'm kind of looking forward to doing for her, and hopefully one day, hopefully, you know, she'll appreciate the scrapbook. As you know, at her age, I never know. And again, I really can't get into all of that right now. I think honestly, as the time draws near and once we get her moved in and settled, I'll definitely make some more videos throughout the month of November, and just, it's going to be a little bit sparse. And then in December, I think I'll kind of show you guys the updated room decor that we are doing for her. But once she moves in, I will kind of make a little short video just letting y'all know of the break that my husband and I are going to be taking from YouTube. I'm still posting on Instagram, so please definitely follow us there. It's a lot easier for me to actually do updates there than having to videotape and edit and record and all these things on YouTube. Not that I don't, you know, love reaching out to our YouTube family. Our community. But it's just a little bit harder, and I will say that we are going to be taking the entire winter break off, so we will not be coming back until January. So we're going to have a few more videos for November, we're going to have a couple of videos in December, and then we won't have anything on YouTube until at least middle of January. But just stay tuned, hang in there with us, and if you are going through the adoption process, I hope that our crazy and radical journey will inspire you to keep at it, because I will tell you, we have been through the ringer and we almost gave up several times, and I'm glad we didn't, because now we have a phenomenal opportunity. We do. And Choji's about to start barking. Okay, so I will let you guys go, and I will see you next time.